Guys, deluded you, and no doubt you've seen in the recent last hour, half hour, Gylfi Sigurdsson of Swansea's basically, yes, it's the most predictable story of the summer. He looks like he's finally about to complete his move to Everton. Yes, you've seen Paul Clement was coy about it pre-game of the game when they kicked off the season. Then he basically admitted it. Koeman said the same. 45 million, I believe. Don't know. There's probably some add-ons there, but 45 million, the concrete fee. And he signs a 5-year deal, and at 27, I mean, Danny Rose has been in the limelight, a bit irrelevant to this, but Danny Rose has been in the limelight, spoken of, one big contract left. You look at Sigurdsson, he's obviously gone from Swansea to Everton. He's likely to get a substantial wage rise. 5-year deal at 27, what that makes, he can play, he's there to like 32. Some sort of security to get some sort of money and things like that. Not to make it about money, but that is when your career is somewhat coming to an end and you need to save money, whether you want to invest it or do what you want. Football career is short. Whatever career you go in, you're not going to be able to earn as much. So it's about maximizing your potential while you can. So with that being said, I mean, you could say on the surface he's a good player. I mean, he's extremely creative. He can play in the middle. He can play out wide if you really want to push him. But he can play in the middle primarily, a different sort of ranges. You probably have him down as the more attacking sort of midfielder. I mean, he's got excellent technical quality. You've seen him score a couple free kicks against us, and in the Premier League, he was basically the talisman for Swansea staying up. I believe. He's a good player. Yes, he when he went to Spurs, he didn't really. That was a step up. It was a bigger club. He didn't really take to it. But his stats, I haven't got them to hand. But his Spurs stats were actually alright. If you look back at them, I thought they would have been poorer than what I look back. It's a shame I don't have them. But yeah, he's been Swansea's star man for a while now. I think in 182 Premier League appearances, he's had his hands in goals and assists around 75 or just over that. So that's a decent return. It's not the best, but it's definitely not the worst by any stretch of the imagination. Last year, 40 appearances, 10 goals, 13 assists. I believe the season before that, he got 11 goals, 2 assists. That's poor on Sigurdsson's front, but he was still productive in front of goal. 14-15, 9 goals, 10 assists. 13-14, yeah, man. I think he got 10 assists, 10 goals then, and 3 assists. Don't quote me on that. My handwriting looks very poor in them note ones there, but yeah. So that shows you someone that can produce and can get some sort of stats. I always tell you guys that you need midfielders to be able to get you some goals and things like that. For Everton, for someone like them, yes, they've signed Wayne Rooney and Davy Clarkson, who's a decent player. But Sigurdsson adds some added creativity. He's going to get them goals when they probably don't deserve it. Like I said, they can make their side. They're fairly decent size-wise and physique-wise. He's excellent at set pieces. He now gives them an added dimension. They now can work on something on the training ground, whether it's corners, whether it's set pieces, free kicks. Obviously, he can take free kicks. When I'm talking about free kicks for others, and crosses into the box and things of that nature. That being said, with the fact that he gets goals and assists and he's decent from set pieces, that means Everton can win some games they probably don't deserve to win, if you get what I'm saying. These sort of players that have this sort of magic can get you out of bad places and get you 3 points or get you a point when you shouldn't have deserved it. He's definitely better than Swansea. I mean, Swansea, they're always going to battle relegation, barring a miracle. If someone buys them or they get some players, then anything's possible. But players always want to step up their levels. He has a point to prove. He's 27, so it is somewhat now or never. Koeman showed a willingness to go and get him. I wonder what this does mean for Ross Barkley. I will say, yes, on paper you don't want to say that necessarily means the end of him, but on the basis that Koeman earlier in the season towards the end issued him an ultimatum. He's changed his stance slightly now, but basically said, if you ain't going to sign the contract, you'll be sold. If you were to look at them, yes, I've made videos in depth about Barkley, but if it was a black and white scenario, you'd both have them down as fairly similar in the sense that if you put them both into an 11, you'd think they'd be the more creative midfielders or players that other players would lean to get the creative juices flowing into the side. So that probably, I don't know what that means for his future. You'd like to think the pessimism, he thinks it's over for him at Everton, and he'll probably move on. But you can't rule out anything in the Premier League. It's a good signing for Everton. I mean, they've made some good, decent signings. They could have done a lot worse. Part of me would have thought it is. We know it's overpriced, people. We know it's overpriced. We know realistically it's not worth 45 million at all on a real day. But I'm tired of speaking about how inflated the market is. We know he's not worth that. In the real world, if football was real, I'd say no more than 15, 20, if I'm brutally honest, for a player like Sigurdsson. That's nothing to do with him. But this is the market. It is a bit steep for Everton as well. I would have thought they would have found a young sort of player. Of course, there's not always the young Dembeles and Pulisic's and players like that. But for 45 million, surely you can go out there and get that sort. Go and get someone that has the scope to grow and become bigger. Or you can splash. I can't think of none at this present moment off the top of my head. But surely you can go into Europe and find certain players of a similar standard to Sigurdsson or slightly better for a fraction of the price. Or maybe that's a slight exaggeration. But get a better deal. You see what I'm saying, guys? But I'm sure if they've concluded that I like Koeman quite a lot as a manager. I am pessimistic on this transfer. It is overpriced, but like I said, it is what it is. If he's shown an interest so much to get him and he's this convinced, then he surely must think he's half decent. Everton fans should be decent. Should be happy. But probably their best window of recent seasons, or if I was an Everton fan, so surely something to get excited about. They've sold Lukaku, but they've added some decent additions. I mean, they could have done a lot worse. They've got Pickford, we know. They've obviously got Sigurdsson, Bruni's return home, Davy Klaassen, Sandro. They've probably signed a couple more, I'm forgetting. So they are getting some decent buys, and they're showing that they want to push properly. I don't know if it's either push into the Champions League spaces or assert themselves as a top 5, 6, 7th club. Well, not really top 6 because that's top 7. That's not really anything, but push the top 6 sort of thing and see where it goes and have a good season and see if they can get into the Champions League. Only they know that, guys. If it was up to me, like I said, I think it is overpriced and it is not worth 45 million. But this is the market now. It is illogical. It will crash. We don't know when. As demand for football ever increases and increases, it's hard to see it ever crashing, but it will. And those clubs that I'm not going to name any, but those clubs that are looking after their academy and things like that, and have their scouting network on point, and have competent scouts and analysis people, all of them sort of things, they will reap the benefits, because it's going to get to the point now, I believe, people are not going to really be looking for additions because they're just overpriced and just not worth it. Hopefully that means looking to the academy. I really hope it does, but we never know. Football's proven it can throw up many twisters and surprises. Our job is not to predict the future, just simply to talk about it, guys. I mean, that's it. Guys, Delulu Laguna, I'm signing out. I mean, I'm waffling now. There's nothing else to say on that matter. To be honest, Sigurdsson, 45 million. Don't know how much it rises up to, but if you've got 45 million for Sigurdsson, you can definitely spend that in other areas. But who am I to judge? Signing out, guys. Like, share, subscribe, comment. I'm out.